Welcome all to a Saturday in South Carolina's Emerald Isle, where today's match is presented by Wood Creek Dental. And the side that's the talk of the town in the USL League One is back amongst the buzz this evening in their home venue, Greenville Triumph. Fresh from a famous result against Indy 11, up in the fire against Texoma FC. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport and Ross. Last these two teams got together, it feels like it was years ago. Texoma winning at the death through Teddy Baker in the 96th minute. That one finished 1-0.
Yeah, Texoma were in a good run of form when they met in May. You mentioned that chance. Greenville had a bunch of chances in the final 10 minutes, including a one-on-one for Leo Castro, but wouldn't go in. Texoma won the shot battle 12-7, 8 other shots inside the box.
And as we see how the table is shaping up, it is clear how close the confines are at the bottom.
Yes, you want to get as far away from that playoff line as possible. Greenville, 3 points at home would be huge tonight. Texoma looking to get out of that front would also be a massive win for them to get as far above that line as possible.
But with so much at stake, Rick Wright coming off the midweek clash with Indy 11 has rotated the team pretty heavily. And right at the heart of that is, of course, our player to watch. Ben Zukowski for Greenville steps in, makes the start today.
He just started 9 of the first 11 this season, but with the emergence of Rodrigo Robles, the hot players Siobhan Marsh of late, Zukowski, they're mostly relegated to starts over the last couple of months, but as a goal and assist in his last 2 appearances, expected to work mostly on the right wing tonight, but he's capable of playing on either flank and certainly isn't afraid to shoot from distance.
As for Texoma, it has been a rough stretch, winless in their last 8 all competitions, but Luke McCormick has found the pace at the front. He's been prolific in front of goal in the last month.
The English rookie played his college ball at West Virginia, got his season off to a late start with some visa issues, but he's found his form of late. Couple of goals in June, scoreless in July, but comes into tonight. As you see there, 3 goals in his last 4. He'll try to cause havoc down the right side of that Texoma attack, battling Tyler Polak.
In the final stretch here in USL League One, on the other side of a break, Greenville Triumph hosting Texoma FC for the first time in the club's young history for Texoma. They make the trip to South Carolina imperative that they come home to Texas with something in hand. It is desperation time as we round the final bends. It is all on the other side when we return here in South Carolina.
Every day, we get the privilege to serve you.
Sharing local stories on all your screens.
The first alert on breaking news sent through the Fox Carolina News app.
Serving you with the earliest heads up on storms through the Fox Carolina First Alert weather app.
Live and on-demand newscasts.
Fox Carolina Investigations.
On your streaming TV.
Your stories told right here.
Fox Carolina News.
I'm Rick Wright, head coach of the Greenville Triumph Soccer Club. The Triumph play here on Palmetto Sports and Entertainment.
Watch using antenna on channel 21.2 or on Spectrum 703. The Greenville Triumph play here, Palmetto Sports.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur. Vean Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible gratis con antena en el canal 31.1.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do. And our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
Tonight's match is presented by Wood Creek Dental, official dentist of the Greenville Triumph. And for Greenville Triumph, the lineup chosen by Rick Wright. We mentioned there would be some chopping and changing, and Ross Davenport, the tinkerer, up to his regular tricks today with the starting 11.
3 changes after that bruising penalty kick win over Indy on Wednesday in the Jägermeister Cup. Out go Toby Sims. Connor Evans, the first league game he hasn't started this season, as well as Rodrigo Robles. In come Benton, Soto, and Zakowski. Leo Castro remains out with that toe injury. Evan Lee back in the squad after becoming apparent recently.
Texoma on the other side of the line, and they will do it without Angelo Calfo. A red card against AV Alta. This is the 11 for Adrian Forbes that he has gone with. Here in this one, it will feature Luke McCormick, who is in the team today. But this is a group for Texoma that started to come together. We've seen them operate out of a back 3, back 4, hybridized type of system. And the 11 that they have chosen here in this one looks like this.
Yeah, Reed Ballantyne in for the suspended Calfo. JP Jordan, we may see him at left back. He started the last minute against Greenville, but only lasted 22 minutes. He only had one change from that 3-3 draw against AG Alta. It was 3-0, and it was 3-3. Adrian Forbes said he wasn't disappointed in the result, though. Plenty of positives to take through. We'll see what they can bring to contest from that result.
Performance was very good for Texoma until that red card for Angelo Calfo, and we will see how his absence affects that back line, how much freedom those wingbacks are allowed to play with. You can expect much of the tension in this game to take place in the wide areas. That, of course, has been where Greenville in the attack have been at their best.
Yeah, look for Siobhan Marsh, been playing very well of late to cause all kinds of chaos down that left side, if that's where he starts. We expect Ben Zakowski. Rick Wright said his daughter asked him to play him a little more. True. And she gets her wish tonight with Zakowski starting on the right. St. Bob, what a game he had the other night against Indy. Stepped up in a big way.
Right, told us he felt like it's the best that St. Bob has played since a very good preseason. Had a couple costly errors. For the most part, Bob has been consistent, but maybe not extraordinary. We saw the best of him against Indy 11 in that famous Jaeger Cup knockout victory in the penalty shootout. You mentioned Zakowski. He scored his in the shootout. That renders him the chance to get the goal from the opening gun here at Paladin Stadium. There's an extra degree of anticipation in the crowd today. Greenville has not been at home for a league match in some weeks. Last time against Richmond Kickers nearly a month ago. We are in motion here in the USL League One. Greenville triumph, Texoma FC. Teams currently settled in 7th and 8th in the table in the final phase of the regular season. Peyton Geller here with Ross Davenport. Always Ross, who's an extra added level of drama and tension as stakes mount and opportunity lessons.
Yeah, the end of the season seems to be sneaking up on me, so I'm sure it's the same for everybody as well. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty spots here. 3 points for either of these two teams tonight would be very massive. Greenville now Leo Castro once again, but they haven't had trouble scoring without him though. They only had the one against AV Alta last time out, but multiple goals in 4 games in a row before that, including those 5 goals against Charlotte and on the road as well.
Greenville have sported 12 unique goal scorers in the league. It's tied for the 2nd most in USL League One. Early on, it was the ageless wonder Leo Castro, the striker, that was doing much of the goal scoring, but it's diversified throughout the course of the year. Really comes hand in hand with how Greenville have grown as a team throughout the course of the season. Chapo Herrera. DJ Benton back in the starting 11 today, who plays the ball down the line, and it's out what appears to be a corner kick.
Greenville would certainly love an early goal in this one.
Adrian Forbes mentioned out of this game that they were really exposed on set pieces last time out against AV Alta. With Connor Evans not in the starting 11, responsibility is fallen to Ben Zakowski. Chance in the 2nd minute of play. It's a little bit risky for the goalkeeper. Bob takes aim. The foul committed in the process of freeing himself, and the goal will not stand.
As a goalkeeper myself, I'm all for protecting keepers, but let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Papa Mensah perhaps coming in a little from the side, but certainly seen those not given. It wasn't a ton of contact. Garcia came a flapping. got just enough of it, just enough of Papa Mensa will say, to get the call.
Another whistle is given. The center official today is Nicholas Strednak. He has been asked to be involved plenty of times in the opening exchange. Greenville triumph in that game against Indy 11. Grand total of 48 combined fouls in what was a very physical game, and in large part, partner, why Greenville have maybe chosen to give a couple players a rest here today.
Yeah, I think they'll look to pace things a little bit in this game as a result of that. There's muscle soreness and then there's soreness from getting banged about. Two very different things.
Looking at the conditions for this game that these players from Greenville will try and truck through, the Fox Carolina weather report. Always love to see the mercury start to ebb away in this time of the season.
And obviously, most importantly, dry. I know we've had some rain issues around South Carolina. Charleston's game tonight canceled, or postponed, I should say, due to the amount of rain they received in the last few days. No luck here in the upstate Greenville.
Most of the weather from Hurricane Aaron and the residuals from it hanging on the coastal regions of the state. Here's Lemon Jonay, dicing and dancing, and still coming. Jonay releasing a shot that rolls wide. He scored last game, and all of a sudden, after his first league goal of the year, maybe he's formed a little bit of a taste for it.
Very direct run there by Jonay. Only had one thing on his mind as soon as he took off. One thing in Greenville's favor in this game, they don't play next weekend. So the next game will be that Wednesday Cup contest. Midweek game, excuse me, I should say. They do play on the Saturday the 6th in Naples.
That long layoff, but then it will be a whole bunch of games in a short order of days. A total of 4 between September 3rd and September 13th.
Sorry, they host Portland on the 3rd. Yes, at Naples on the 6th, and Cup game against Hartford on the 10th. So things will get a little chaotic in that short span.
Got there in the long run.
I did.
They're coming thick and fast as the calendar turns over once more and we come so close to the month of September. Texoma starting to take more of a foothold. The keys to the game, Ross, and you put it pretty poignantly, be a threat. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, for Texoma, when they get things going in the final third, they did it in that nice little run earlier this season. They can be a threat. They were handed some goals on Wednesday, but you have to give Adrian Forbes' men credit for forcing those mistakes, and they must force Greenville to really respect their various offensive weapons. They don't really come in tonight with a 9, but that front three can create. Just got to get those shots off. As for Greenville, got to cope without Connor Evans. Listen, it's a team sport. I get it, but the only other game he's missed in all comps this season. They lost 3-1 to One Knox in the US Open Cup. Been a massive contributor in his rookie season, whether out wide or centrally. So we'll see how they react tonight with his absence. He's obviously available on the bench if needed.
And more than one coach say this year that they think Connor Evans has at least been the best newcomer in the league, if not the best player overall this year. Part of that has been his dependability. So he gets the rest today as Greenville charge up for this final approach in 2025. Here's Tyler Pollock. He's trundled through. It's a fair challenge, apparently. Ajmer Spengler at the controls, and now Perkins rolled across frame. Jonay arriving. Jonay shot is fizzed high.
Yeah, Tyler Pollock's going to have a word here. He's been around long enough to know what's a foul and what's not a foul. A veteran, first signing in Greenville Triumph history. Certainly looked like the challenge was from behind.
Might get a chance to take another peek here in a moment. Ivan Jonay arriving late, and here is that tackle.
I mean, not really a question. The arm may have got to the side of Tyler Pollock, but the initial contact is about as from behind as you can get. No call though. So I guess that's how we'll get. Referee Strengat's going to call things tonight. Just be consistent. That's all players ask for. Just going to let them play for 90.
Moving on from that moment, though, seeing early on, Greenville may be struggling to deal with all the extra width provided by those wingbacks so far. Ball given away, straight away, Spengler fires in off the post! It's a head scratcher from the back, but Ajmir Spangler turns heads and fires Texoma a goal in front inside the first 10 in South Carolina.
Brandon Fricke has been playing so well this season. We talked to Rick Wright about it. This wasn't one of his finest moments, though. Just gave it right away. He was looking for Chapo Herrera. Spengler was waiting to pounce, and that's exactly what he did. And that's a quality finish from the youngster. Fricke with head in hands. That's all he can do at that point. And what a start for the visitors.
Ajmir Spangler, he scored against Avialta. That broke him out of a 10-match goalless slump. He is fit and firing. It is presented to him on a silver platter. And he does not hesitate to enjoy himself. And again, some shenanigans in the build-up.
Adrian Forbes slightly disagreeing with that decision from the referee. Strednak on the throw-ins. Listen, throw-ins, I guess he called a free kick.
This won't be any reason for alarm, at least directly for Greenville, as the ball is nodded back to the goalkeeper. They have had plenty of struggles this season in terms of early concession. They're now tied for the league lead with 8 goals inside the first 15 minutes surrendered. A lot of times they've been able to find a way back, especially in this recent uptick in form, but that is nightmarish at the commencement for Greenville Triumph.
It's obviously too early to talk about substitutions here, but I think Rick Wright will certainly be ready to pull the trigger if he needs to with the break coming after this. No midweek game, no game next Saturday. If he's not liking what he's seeing, I think he'll be unafraid to bring the, I'm not going to call them backups, but the reserves off the bench tonight. Like Sir Connor Evans, etc. Evan Lee on there as well. Micah Gonzalez, who Rick Wright was saying is training very well of late, starting to get back to full health.
Now, if you want to rewind to the moment that provided the separation for Texoma, lend a word of maybe a little bit of defense for Brendan Fricke. Was looking directly into the sun as you see the long shadows cast, and you wonder if that affected the picture you were seeing.
Yeah, you never know, just a bit of a mental lapse. Rick Wright has been bemoaning slow starts at times this season. They seem to have worked out of it a little bit before tonight. It's just a poor giveaway. But rather it now than in the 90th.
Much to do for Greenville. Texoma will understand that the job is far from finished given recent proceedings, that Avialta game in which they had the 3-0 lead and lost it. This is rhythmic build-up, though, from the Birds. Siobhan Marsh nearly stole it away, and now, in fact, Greenville do. Chapo Herrera. And that was Zeke Soto that came crashing in. Did so with too much thrust as the youngster forces it out of play.
Texoma looking to return the early favor. Zeke Soto was on his horse with help ahead of him as well. Luckily for Texoma, I should say, there was a defender back. So no need for Dogso. Just sloppy touch there and good pressure.
It was an immediate decision from the referee to go for the yellow card. So first booking of the game. Greenville have an opportunity from the free kick. Flown into the area, back post ball headed on towards Mensah, who can't provide much contest to it. Offside.
Offside on the push-off on Zane Bug.
USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com, USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Worthy of your vote with the remote so far, this one has been, as another yellow card is out of the pocket. Ajmir Spangler was driving home his point. It looks like Pascal Corvino overextended.
Yeah, committed, and a little touch from Spangler was enough to take him out of the reach of Corvino. The ball anyway. A critical yellow card in the middle of the park A guy certainly looking to impress tonight. Pascal Govina missed a chunk of time with injury.
Started the last 4 games after missing 19 consecutive. Has worked back to full fitness and provides profile in midfield Greenville do not have without him. Digging in defensively here. Sky-high ball, knotted away by Fricke. Slashed all the way clear by Zakowski. Looks like Texoma might be a little bit disheveled defensively, but Greenville take their foot off the gas. Chopper Herrera ripped down, and it's getting all kinds of physical early. Ajmer Spengler that time.
Listen, those of us that played soccer, every time you go down, you have to get back up again. It takes a bit out of you.
Texoma, one of the most combative teams in the USL League One. 69 yellow cards for them on the year, is the most in the division. 9 more than anybody else. Not very nice from them.
It's become part of the game over the last decade or so, right? Tactical fouls. Take a yellow card. You gotta make sure you don't take a second one.
Compliments it with the tap dance off the back heel.
Of course, Kalfa with that second yellow on Wednesday was a very silly decision to pick that ball up as just to delay the restart. Never the kind of yellow card you want to take on the second one.
Corvino rainbowing in, and that will lift the flag. Offside is the call. Stoppage in play. A good time to tell you that you can download the FanSaves app and follow the Triumph for access to exclusive deals, your favorite restaurants and breweries. As you were saying though, Ross, that red card to Kalfa. Anytime you delay the restart, it's an automatic yellow card in the modern game, and just a foolish one to give away. We've seen that argued plenty, I think, in the Premier League. Arsenal fans thinking that that maybe is a rule that is aimed at them for whatever reason.
It's also one of those things that a lot of referees haven't been calling over the last decade when it comes to free kicks. And stopping the quick, standing in front of the ball, that seemed to have been an accepted practice these days. But in a close game, well, it wasn't a close game at the time, but when you do that when it's out of play, just pick it up. It's very silly.
Just circling back to the Premier League point, got to see a couple of the Greenville players pick their favorite for the trophy at the end of the season. Fricke going with Manchester United, which is a bit bold. How do we figure things go for your Cherries partner, Bournemouth?
We need a center back, but we played well today. I'll take 3 points, no matter how difficult it was, especially against having a man up, but a long way to go. Red Hot Spurs coming up next.
Got a pick for a champion?
I think Liverpool will beat again.
Sound. Here's Chopper Herrera. A teasing ball into Ben Zakowski, who is able to take it back. Far from tame. But he has it in tow, and it's Siobhan Marsh. Marsh still juking away and trying to jar one into Zeke Soto. And it's Ajmer Spengler who had turned the corner. Chopper Herrera with a shove, and he's fortunate to get away without having his name taken. He knows it.
Yeah, certainly the definition of stopping a promising attack there.
You see how quickly he put distance between himself and the center official there.
Not sure if that's a tactic that's ever actually worked. This gives the referee a second to think about it, or you might also annoy him a little more that you've tried not to get the card by running away. It's like the hands up, not me, ref.
Good hold up play in the box. A tidy turn. Sent centrally on the floor and unable to get into gear there was Luke McCormick. Probably put a foot wrong in the last couple of weeks, but what it took there.
There's a man who had some fun Wednesday night. He almost stuck one. I think it was it the round before, the deciding one. He barely missed it.
Gunther Rankenberg with the decisive penalty save. He did come good when it counted, even though both teams converted their first 5 penalties of that shootout.
Some great penalties. So Brandon Fricky step up as well to take one.
Maybe most impressed by the youngster Zeke Soto, taking that on his shoulders, the teenager, and one of the most calm penalty takes of the night.
I did miss the old just smash it. There was one today where he just smashed it and went in. And I said, more people should do that instead of trying to place it, as long as you know you can get it on target. Oops.
Some more rigmarole at the back from Javier Garcia. But his distribution does find friendly feet. It's Perkins driving infield. Widened out for McCormick, who serves in a cross. Rankenberg looked like he may have lost it. Punched away only as far as Jaune, who has it snatched by Siobhan Marsh. It certainly looks like Greenville are fighting the glare of the sun in their own box.
And obviously, as the time of year changes, the angle of the sun does as well, even with the same 7 p.m. Eastern start time. And yeah, you can see how bright it is today. Also coming off that turf. Those of you that have played on turf know the sun can glare off it as well.
It's a throw in for Texoma. It's Ashmir Spangler who put his side in front early. Hungry and hunting for more. Texoma in the area at the last stitch. Zane Bupp just gets in a little bit of a nudge, and it's out for a corner kick.
Yeah, it was good work by Bupp there, because he had to be careful coming from behind like that, just to hook the foot around. Almost a higher percentage of something going wrong, especially in that penalty box.
Luke McCormick set to take a corner. He's had growing influence on this game. 20 minutes gone. Rankenberg a little late to it. He's made contact with an attacking player, and it's just going to fall harmlessly out.
He's asking for the consistency there from referee Stregner, but as you said, he got there late. I don't think he got there at all. It was more in contact with his teammate Tyler Pollack than it was with Brandon McManus. The Texoma player down.
It does look like the Texoma player that absorbed that contact was Brandon McManus, and he is able to put some dirt on it proverbially and walk it off. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Takes a high skip off of Soto. And it does look like Zeke Soto is in the wider position to start out here on the left.
Interesting. I think that hasn't changed since the start of the match. And Siobhan Marsh was out wide open. Then we can play centrally. Did it very effectively earlier this season for a period.
And a big hallmark for all the attacking players that have played behind the 9 this year for Greenville, that ability to be interchangeable.
Zukowski playing more centrally now, yeah. Certainly those 3 can play every position across the board if need be.
Something Adrian Forbes was certainly alert to. Here's Layman Jaune. Nobody home to latch onto the cross. Corvino gets clear. Corvino unable to hang on to it. Jaune. It's a dangerous tackle put in, but it does get enough of the ball. There's DJ Benton who left his feet. And just confirmation that there was no advantage being presented there, and that tackle was clean. It will belong to Greenville on the other side of this, but Jaune is down.
Rightfully so. It's a crunching challenge. The old myth of, hey, you got the ball is certainly one thing of the past. If you come in recklessly enough, that certainly looked like it had the venom to be a borderline, even a card, and it wasn't even called a foul. Gianni back on his feet,
So
gingerly.
explain that, the myth of getting the ball. What do you mean in referees' parlance there?
Well, of course, the players, oh, I got the ball, ref, I got the ball, ref. But if you come in with enough recklessness, it could still be considered a foul, even if you got the ball. I think he perhaps just got enough there. Perhaps there wasn't quite enough recklessness for it to be called a foul. But, well, listen, we said referee Stredek just be consistent. He certainly has been letting them play. No doubt about that so far.
Now Benton, Jonay right in his face. Benton is able to turn him. Papamensa back to goal. It's a heavy first touch and it's scraped away. Good tackle by Teddy Baker, the hero of the first matchup between these two teams, and away by Javier Garcia.
I think most players would say that they'd rather have a referee that lets them play. As long as things don't cross the line, there probably is when you do that as a referee. As you can see, players hitting the deck, and things can get out of hand quickly if you don't keep an eye on everything.
Smooth from Jonay. Spangler unable to pick the lock, and it will rumble over the touchline for a throw.
I'm seeing some frustration from the Greenville players with each other.
Greenville have fielded a different starting 11 in every single game this year in the league. The lack of constants has been the constant, and for the most part, that's allowed for a high level of adaptability for Greenville, but you do wonder at a certain point with the amount of rotation, it can be tough for these players to get a good feel of maybe anticipating the movements and decisions of their teammates, as Jonay is requiring some extra attention again.
Yeah, you asterisk right if you thought he'd found it, if he knew his 11. I mean, I think he committed to knowing his 11 with what he's got available at the moment, which is obviously no Leo Castro. I think most coaches, I think they know 8 or 9. I think finding an 11, I think it depends on the opponent. Situation.
Castro still the team's leading goal scorer, trying to work back from an injury that's kept him out since the South Georgia Tormenta game. That was the first one that he missed. It's plucked away. The press working wonders for Texoma. Widened out, served in. Jonay is walled off by Zane Bubb, who continues a strong performance at the back from the Indy 11 game a couple of days ago. Makes another strong tackle.
Monster interception there with players in red and white flooding forward. Zane Bubb, his big leg out, big foot out, I should say, to stop that one. Otherwise, it certainly would have been a quality scoring chance.
Leg is connected to the foot. I think both are fair.
I wasn't sure initially what it had hit.
Luke McCormick angling in. Bubb rises highest to meet it again. Zakowski failing to get free. Spangler! Well, he's taken the most shots from outside the box in the league this year. He's already scored one today. If he had been able to keep that down, that would have been one for the catalog.
Just having a bit of struggle getting out of their half at the moment. Another little first touch here in turn. Good lunging challenge in the end. The last second that may have put Spangler off, but now we've got Bubb messing around with it back here. Texoma smelling blood here, perhaps a 2-0 lead. Greenville with only one touch in the opposition's box here in the 26th minute.
Of course, that is notable because Greenville have led the league in that department all season long. Top of the league in shots, top 10 all time in USL League One history in shots per game. It has not been a very familiar Greenville triumph so far in this one.
Texoma 5 shots to nothing.
One of these teams, Ross, is unbeaten in 6. The other one has failed to claim victory in their last 8, and you would never guess which by how this one has gone.
That's why we love this game, Peyton. You never know what you're going to get with every kickoff. We thought we might see goals tonight. We got the early one, but Greenville just looked just a little stagnant so far. Perhaps we expected it after that Wednesday game, though. A little sloppy.
That was a question we posed to both coaches ahead of the matches. Really emotional, draining games physically and mentally in the midweek, as a bit of a bump is going to go unnoticed by the referee. Advantage being played. Siobhan Marsh will be more on the overall emotional feel of this game after this move. Marsh infield. It's Papamensa taking them all on. It's blocked. Corvino now blocked again. Texoma lead the league in that department. block shots, and they add a couple there. But well won with the press. Benton into the box. It comes rolling into Garcia. And just in closing the loop on that point, you had to maybe speculate on how these two teams would be able to step up to the task in this one after really difficult games on Wednesday. One in the league for Texoma, one in the Cup, in the Jaeger Cup, for Greenville triumph against Indy 11. So far, Texoma have been the hungrier dogs, certainly hunting that way.
You've also got to remember that Greenville playing on the road in Antelope Valley last weekend. Certainly one of their longest trips of the season. And the walls again. Get stepped on. Oh, yeah, right there. Brandon Fricky apologizing too. That one will hurt. Brandon Fricky's not a small gentleman.
I would certainly never classify him that way. Greenville's captain, their century at the back, and leaving a mark on McManus. Certainly not intentional.
Thank goodness we're past the days of metal cleats. Let's look at Adrian Forbes from very close to me in London, just outside London. Just talking to us on the bus on the way to the airport, which he doesn't normally do, getting to games, but with a tight turnaround. He had to this week.
He's certainly made short order of seeing the country. Typically he drives to every away day. The team travels by plane, but he takes a car so he can bring his family with him.
I love it.
Not
wild.
For this one.
But
it's commitment, that's for sure. Unable to make that happen here today just because of the tight turnaround, as another foul is given, but pretty great thing that he's able to bring his family along for the ride. He's waited for his opportunity to become a senior manager. It wasn't coming in England. He was with Norwich for some years at the academy level, even functioned as the club's PA announcer. He gets his opportunity to steer the wheel for Texoma in 2025, and by all accounts has acquitted himself quite well.
No, for sure. Listen, first year in the league, never easy, especially with the travel. A lot of coaches, even when they look at a map and just don't understand how hard it is to get around this big country if you come from another country, especially.
Sloping out of play and maybe reflecting that onto the Greenville side of this. They stayed on the road. They did in Antelope Valley, and instead of coming back to South Carolina last week, went straight to Indianapolis to prepare for that Indy 11 game. Maybe seeing some of the maladies of that in this sleepy start to the game, half an hour played.
Yeah, listen, you haven't slept in your bed for quite a while. Obviously did the last couple of nights, but a few days before that didn't. Those of us that have traveled around know how hotel beds can be.
Looks like Clement Jane is back down on his backside. Not a lot of natural replacements for this kind of player profile, and Jane certainly didn't get a chance to brace himself very much as he went to grounds.
Yeah, it's just an awkward one. Kind of jar your back when you land like that.
There's Rick Wright. He will be certainly in his own head right now about how the game has started and was not up to the scripts he would have imagined whenever he fielded his squad for this match back at home for the first time in so long. Spangler getting a hold of a loose ball and a faulty bit of build-up play. Brennan Fricky, of all people, to commit the giveaway.
They did a couple of difficult trips down the stretch, Greenville. Go to Spokane, go to Knoxville, go to Chattanooga. We'll see three of the top teams in USL League One. We certainly have a few more winnable home games, but lingering just above the playoff line. We'll have to pick up some points here tonight. Work to do, though.
Today's game for Greenville, the first at home in 4 straight and first league home match since July 20th. They've only had one, that Richmond game that we talked about earlier, in the last 60 days. Byproduct of the fact that Greenville had their longest ever homestand in the league to start the year, 5 consecutive there. Good news is, after this last stretch of away days, Triumph will have much of their closing stretch at home. Texoma played the second fewest away games in the league, this being only their 9th of the season. Polak in a bind.
Oh.
And let off the hook by Luke McCormick. Visit shoptriumph.com to check out the latest merch and kit releases. And gotta imagine that third strip is probably selling even better now, given the reputation it's taken on in the Cup.
So there might be some Greenville fans putting that in a frame, putting it up on the wall. And now I got that trip to Hartford.
I mean, they have to keep wearing it, right?
I think so.
Free ball in the center. Chopper Herrera engaged, trying to win it off Osmir Spangler. Rifles it ahead, and DJ Benton is there in the nick of time.
Good to see DJ Benton getting a look tonight.
Fricky under much more duress here. Polak. Fricky's gone down as the ball trickles away, and this is a grisly sight for Greenville fans. Fricky went down without any contact, and he's grabbing at the lower extremities. This is Mr. Ironman for Triumph, their captain. This is not good.
Oh. Scary stuff. Actually on this turf, hopefully just a minor tweak for Brandon Fricky. Patti on the bench. Certainly a likely option if they need to go that way. And Brandon Fricky not one to go down easily.
I wanted to give Toby Sims a break here in this game. He has played on the left side as the left-sided center back in a back three. And Fricky can't continue. Rick Wright is going to have to figure out how to address this hole in his back line. It would take quite a bit to get this guy off the field.
And you don't have him for this corner kick. Big physical presence missing now in the middle of this box. Texoma does have some height out there.
This is a really good opportunity for Texoma to maybe double that edge. Only won the one time this year on the road, but they would be in the catbird seat if they can score seconds. Within swing from Ozzy Ramos. Rankenberg will calmly collect. Watch it all the way as it curled towards the back post, but now he punts it off. Looks like JP Jordan.
He knew exactly what he was doing, Peyton.
You know, the yellow card goes to JP Jordan. It's for the exact same thing that saw Kelfel get sent off, but I don't know precisely what he's supposed to do there.
Not sure if we'll get another look at it or not, but as a referee, I think just get back down the field. Don't change your line of run with the referee. I think that's what JP Jordan was saying. I was just running back to my left back spot.
I mean, heads up play from Gunther Rankenberg. We see this a lot with restarts and free kicks where a guy might just kick the ball off somebody else, which is supposed to be an automatic yellow card. In that case, Rankenberg is able to draw one on JP Jordan.
Cheap one, that's for sure. Go right at him now. So he's not his natural position.
Greenville hoping to find a foothold ahead of the halftime intermission.
So the sun now finally setting, bringing some full shadow almost to this pitch.
Greenville have not seen much of the ball in this half. Certainly have not pressured the goal of Texoma much. Siobhan Marsh. A loose touch from him allows Perkins to get a nibble in. Siobhan Marsh has been one of the best attacking players in formation for Greenville in this game and writ large over the last couple of months. All 6 of his goals have come since July 12th, 2025, but he just hasn't had much of a look in Same story for many of the attackers for Greenville so far in this game. That's some touch from Ropapa-Mensah.
Keeping an eye on Brandon Fricky there. Seems to be moving okay.
Zeke Soto trying and punching a ball into the area for Mensah. One shot and two. He can't find the target. Siobhan Marsh now. Greenville suddenly with the sense. A ricochet on the cross. Siobhan Marsh rails it high.
Well, certainly the best chance of the first half there. Falls to Ropapa-Mensah. Texoma continuing to do a good job of getting bodies between the ball and the goal. Just kind of scuffed the first chance. Texoma player was there to block it, didn't really catch it properly.
Ropapa-Mensah in so much better of form. His last couple of games was in the team of the week. This last week had his first goal in 308 days in the league. He's hungry for another as it trickles towards the line. It's hit the post and stayed out. That happened in slow motion. Javier Garcia doing just barely enough.
Scrambling across. I think he almost might have been a double save. What a double save it would have been. Let's take another look here. Zakowski with a good delivery. A bit of a chaos. I think it was either the post or Garcia that kept it up. Couldn't really tell from that angle.
It almost looked like he got a kick to it, maybe a stud to take it onto the woodwork.
Got something on it, that's for sure. Yeah, the first one was just a bit of a mess. I couldn't really tell if he hit a Greenville player or a Texoma player, but Garcia, whoever it hit, Garcia wasn't ready for it and had to scramble all the way across. Looks like the shot caught him by surprise.
Not the chosen goalkeeper at the start of the year, but he is late claim to that #1 shirt in certain fashion as the ball is batted out for what looks like another corner. Just quickly on Javier Garcia. Got his first start on May 11th, and since then, only one player, Hunter Morse of Portland Hearts of Pine, has made more saves than him. USL League One. Had a clean sheet against this very same Greenville in the first exchange. Trying to hold his nerve in the final 5 minutes of this half in South Carolina, in by Zakowski. A little bit overcooked. Soto puts in a shoulder, and it's too much for the referee. Texoma player ailing and requiring some attention. Does look like he will step to his feet and be ready to continue. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship from the Academy to the big league. Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, Ross, what do they call it?
The player's choice, I think.
There we have it.
Greenville now with 4 shots in the last 13 minutes after cutting none until that point. Starting to come back into this game. Only the one shot on target in this entire game, and that one went in.
Stepping in and snapping up possession is DJ Benton. He takes a spill and wins the whistle. I told you about Texoma and the fouls that they've committed throughout the course of the year. Greenville have drawn the most fouls in USL League One this season. Third most, I should say, with 270.
Yeah, stats are a little behind, but I have to give Greenville credit for that shot on target that Garcia scooped out.
The wide spaces, a peering ball in at the back post. It will just about hang up and be kept on by Ropapa-Mensah. An excellent effort, but the foul is given away by Tyler Polak. Ropapa-Mensah probably doesn't chase that ball down at the start of the year, but Rick Ryan has said he's lost about 10 pounds. Starting to really find his full gait at the front for Greenville. Polak lets Texoma away without much trouble, though. Only one shot on target so far for Texoma. It was the goal. Greenville increasingly starting to find themselves in the contest. Over the head of JP Jordan, it could prove costly. Bouncing along, it seeks Soto. And still Soto, but couldn't unwind himself from 2 defenders.
Good job by Jordan poking it away. On the yellow card, the last thing you need, a player trying to beat you one-on-one.
JP Jordan back in the starting 11 in this one. Made his first start since getting injured against Greenville earlier this year, last game. Kind of that catch-all effort man. For Adrian Forbes this year has played every number of positions. They just kind of want to get him on the field because of what he brings in terms of the intensity.
Yes, every manager in League One loves to have those guys that can play multiple positions all over the pitch. Greenville have had them over the years.
Lofting in over the top, hoisted into the box. Soto went early, and Papa Mensah went to the near post when the ball played required a back post run. It is a corner kick, though. Greenville turning up the temperature. A corner kick for Ben Zakowski. It's a sculpted back post ball to Zane Bob, who provides a biteless header, falling away the whole way.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get enough on that to trouble Garcia. Perhaps should have just nodded it back into the danger zone. Instead, trying to be the hero.
High header from Polak. Ramos rumbling in. It's out for a throw. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Ticket to great seats. You can even hear these guys. Reedy River Riot in full voice and behind a team that is playing better and better for them with every passing week, but a task at hand here, 1-0 down to Texoma.
The horn section going well tonight as well.
You play any instruments? Maybe more on that here in a second. Papa Mensah has options. Somehow picked the exact wrong one.
Tambourine.
Oh, yeah. Always figured you for maybe a more cowbell kind of man.
Anything that doesn't require reading music or notes, I'm down for.
Talent?
Minimal on the musical side. I did try to play the clarinet as a youth, and it didn't last too long.
Graceful. Well, we're glad that you're applying your vocal skill here. Over the head from Corvino. Rankenberg will put any threat to ease. Taking towards stoppage time, waiting on the board to go up. Joe Sergon is the fourth official. Tyler Spiska and Jonathan Smith are the linesmen today. That's 4 minutes of stoppage time. Plenty of which to make use for Greenville. Benton, nice and clean on the ball for Zakowski. John A. quickly in defense. Zakowski fights him off. Zeke Soto angling for a shot. With some venom across the floor, but scoots wide.
Greenville certainly playing some quality stuff here the last 5 or 10 minutes. Trying to find the equalizer before the break. Both the other live games in League One are also 1-0. Richmond up at home against Knoxville. Chattanooga up at home against Tormenta.
Be a massive result for Richmond, who will be feeling their feet at the fire after a long downtick in form.
Have a ska band going on down there.
I have nothing to add to that.
Those that follow me on Twitter will understand.
Here's Soto. Papa Mensah in the gap. Mensah puts a head to it. A passing glance at best. Effort's been there for Papa Mensah. The final product has been elusive.
Yeah, that one golden chance. He scuffed it a little bit.
Still, we had a great story from Rick Wright. Papa Mensah celebrated a birthday just ahead of the Indy 11 match in the midweek. Everybody went out. Said that one of his best buddies on the team, Siobhan Marsh, as DJ Benton is down. Looks like he will try and shake this off. But Siobhan Marsh, who was with him in Chattanooga, made everybody go around the table after they sung Happy Birthday. Say one thing that they were grateful for having Papa Mensah around for. Marsh is bundled through by Layman John A, and free kick is coming. Rick Wright said to us by the end, not only was Ropapa Mensah fighting back tears, so was Rick Wright, as seasoned as he is.
We talked to Rick Wright just about this team coming together. Their ups and downs this season, just like any team does. This team very close. So the message has always been the same. He's had tremendous belief in these guys, great character. Turn the boat around. You think they've done that? You see, still far from clinching the playoff spot so far. Still a long way to go to do that. Here would certainly be a big step. I mentioned earlier, got a lot of work to do here, down 1-0, approaching halftime.
Free kick and making sure to get the rub of the green. Play the ball exactly as he likes. Siobhan Marsh. He's the one who won the free kick. His touch has been golden in recent weeks and months. Him and Zakowski presiding over top. Garcia ready for the effort as it comes bending in. It needed more pace.
Yeah, worth an effort. He was ready for it this time.
Played a bigger and bigger character as this half is matured. Goalkeeper Garcia. A little bit of a contest there at the end line as it looked like the ball may make its way out of play. Zane Bub called into action. And nobody will be able to lay claim before the half expires. So it's Ajmer Spengler, just about 10 minutes into the game, making a mistake. Well worth the price for admission there. He makes Greenville pay, and it sits 1-0 as we hit the intermission.
Yeah, Greenville played their way into the half as it went on. Nothing's changed. I think you expected them to take a little while to get into things, just unfortunately the mistake by Brandon Fricky leading to that fine Spengler finish in 45 minutes to get back into this one.
Triumph with work to do. Texoma would love to pocket all 3 points on the road and begin their playoff push on the right foot. Triumph rotated on the day. We will see if they shuffle the deck on the other side of our halftime coverage presented by Upstate Spine and Sport. That's coming up.
Nobody's watching. Except when people are watching, like your roommate and the new boyfriend you forgot she was bringing over. Believe in yourself. But know your limits, because right before an interview really isn't the time to try being a hairstylist. Anything is possible. So yes, winning is possible. But so is not winning, which means sometimes the best way to play actually is to save some possibility for another day. The South Carolina Education Lottery, supporting better players and a better you.
At Johnston Orthodontics, we combine art and science to create your perfect smile. After a thorough exam with x-rays and digital models, we design custom aligners tailored just for you. With our on-site 3D resin printer, these designs come to life, ensuring a perfect fit every time. Ready to tame your smile? Call us today at Johnston Orthodontics.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us, because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
There's a new airline in town. Breeze Airways has arrived at GSP International Airport with nonstop flights to 5 cities nationwide. Enjoy low fares, no change or cancellation fees, and convenient nonstop service. Make your next trip seriously nice on Breeze Airways. Visit flybreeze.com to book your flight from GSP today.
At the half here, the South Carolina Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. Greenville losing and heading into the second half Your second back can rebound much the same as Greenville. Visit Update Spine and Sport, the official chiropractor and massage therapist of the Greenville Triumph. Peyton Geller here with Ross Davenport. Greenville down the goal. They fell behind in the Jägermeister match against Indy 11 the last time.
No one said it would be easy, but the USL Academy to professional pathway is blazing a successful trail. More than 10 players on USL rosters are Academy products with professional contracts. A big deal and a big decision. Why? The pathway includes options. For many prospects, that's college soccer. Finn Sundstrom plays for North Carolina FC on an Academy contract. He now has valuable pro experience, but remains an amateur player. A different path is played out in Phoenix. 17-year-old Jamison Ping, a Phoenix Rising Academy member since age 12, was signed to a professional contract. This is now his career. Andy Chapman from Phoenix Rising FC joins us now. And Andy, Jamison Ping is very special to you because you've seen his process really from beginning to its current state. So what is it like to see something come to fruition through the academy process?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely been exciting for seeing someone be given the opportunity, someone that's been on the fields with them for the last 5 years. I've gone through the whole process.
This entire landscape, big picture, coaches that are in your shoes on other clubs, all of you guys kind of in the same boat making this work?
Yeah, Liz, I think USL got a unique opportunity, and I think everyone's kind of using it to their advantage here. We should really push your players from a youth standpoint into that pro environment, and it's definitely a step up, and it's not for everybody. It's an endless opportunity for us to continue to grow.
USL clubs use their academies. Nearly 100 players have achieved academy contracts, opening doors for youth players to achieve their dreams of turning professional.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We're here to support the rest of the club and the community.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming,
yelling and screaming and chanting.
We're following wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
We want to be the loudest people, and we want you to hear where we are at.
People in this town love this team, pack these stands out for every single game.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
What exactly is a Sully steamer? Our sandwiches are made to order, which means once you've taken a look at our big menu and narrowed down your options, we go to work. Our sandwiches are stuffed with fresh, flavorful ingredients and then placed in our special steamer until the sandwich gets warm and soft and fuses all the flavors together to achieve the peak of tastiness. Are you hungry yet?
Stir on here in Greenville. Some anxiety as the home side trailed by a goal in their home venue. Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report rolling on here. The news and notes, plenty of them from around the USL League One. And we've talked about home venues a lot this year. Portland's gotten a lot of attention, but some really big-time home performances from AV Alta and One Knox.
Yeah, for sure. We've got to get those 3 points at home. They say get 3 points at home, one on the road. Right, Knoxville obviously had trouble as well with the weather in Knoxville that have made that home field difficult to sort out, but they seem to have got that going now. And AV Alta will host Alianza. Exciting stuff in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. We've seen plenty of that. Portland with the home friendly against Halifax, and before that we saw Leganés play Richmond Kickers, a game in which Kickers were able to get a result. And we talked about Greenville. They will have a date in the Jägermeister Cup against Hartford Athletic. As for the other dates around the league today and what's in motion, Richmond have to have 3 points against One Knox. They've tried to play that game a couple times already, and Richmond had the early advantage 1-0 out in front at halftime. The Chattanooga Red Wolves, it's just what they do at this point.
So a large mid-season pickup with the goal there for Richmond. As for Chattanooga, Pedro Hernandez penalty, the difference between them and struggling Tormenta.
Regional clash there for Westchester and Portland, a massive one for Union Omaha against AV Alta as they try to climb back into the playoffs, the reigning champions. And for the team of the week, Ropapa Mensah in that group. He scored the goal against AV Alta, and he finds himself in this squad selected for the first time this year.
Yeah, some quality goal scorers in there. Good to see Darwin Espinal back from injury and on the team of the week. And a couple of Tormenta players on there as well that can put the ball in the back of the net.
So that is the team of the week, the goal of the week, the save of the week, both coming to you now.
Costas can stand it up and does. Dien's header! What a goal! Babacar Dien stands alone at the top of the leaderboard for One Knox. Here is Bentley, stopped by Garcia!
Just breathe. Woo! Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man, we go higher. Woo! Let's take this thing non-stop. It's time to go higher.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice, serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care, from our family to yours.
Every day, we get the privilege to serve you, sharing local stories on all your screens.
The first alert on breaking news sent through the Fox Carolina News app.
Serving you with the earliest heads up on storms through the Fox Carolina First Alert weather app. Live and on-demand newscasts.
Fox Carolina Investigations.
On your streaming TV.
Your stories told right here. Fox Carolina News.
I'm Rick Wright, head coach of the Greenville Triumph Soccer Club. The Triumph play here on Palmetto Sports and Entertainment.
Watch using antenna on channel 21.2 or on Spectrum 703. The Greenville Triumph play here. Palmetto Sports.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur. Vean Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible gratis con antena en el canal 31.1.
Rick Wright has come from the dressing room, a plan in mind. It looks like some changes may be coming as we embark in the second half. He's pressed all the right buttons as of late. Did not in the first half of this game, though. The first half highlights brought to you by Wood Creek Dental, and it is 1-0 as we set out on the journey of the second half, and it was a calamity of errors that got it there. Oshmir Spangler, an expert finish off the post, but a giveaway that preceded it. Texoma find themselves in front.
Yeah, rare mistake by Brandon Fricky, but a quality finish was needed. Oshmir Spangler to beat Gunther Rankenberg and Papa Mensah here. The first real chance in the first half for Greenville. Just scuffed his opportunity a little bit. Blocked out in front before it got through to Garcia, who will be called upon moments later for a monster save off a corner here.
It would be knotted down in a double save that you will likely see more than once this week. Javier Garcia, the reigning save of the week holder. That might just do it for two on the skip. As for the overall statistical picture, it's one of dominance for the home side. Greenville, 4 shots on target. This rate, Texoma will have to have a mighty stiff upper lip to get out of this one with a 1-0 result.
Consider it took 27 minutes for Greenville to get their first shot. That tells you how much they dominated the last 18 minutes. As we saw there, looks like Connor Evans will be entering the fray, try and get things going in that Greenville midfield.
So that is the man. That put us where we currently sit. Oshmir Spangler, back-to-back games with a goal for him. He's now got 7 on the year. It's his first career goal ever against Greenville. Former South Georgia Tormenta man. And as we circulate into the second frame, it falls on the shoulders of Greenville Triumph to make something happen. Straight away, pressing in. And it was a wonder run, but not the final product as Gunther Rankenberg lays claim to it. Connor Evans has officially checked into the game. Looks like Rodrigo Robles has stepped in to replace Siobhan Marsh. It's Ben Zakowski who makes the opening for Connor Evans, so it might be a further forward-minded deployment for him. Can't imagine that Pascal Corvino will step out and play on the right side of that front three, although we have seen him there at times in his career.
Yeah, looks like he's going to play a little further forward than Herrera and Evans. Evans, obviously, such a critical part, we talked about earlier, of this Greenville midfield. Things were just a little sloppy there in the first 45s. Evans coming in to try and rescue this one.
Rodrigo Robles, as soon as he started to find the good juju in the attack, that's when Greenville's season really came alive. Feels like he's been at the heart of every good moment for the South Carolinians over the last 2 months.
There's Brandon Fricky back in for the second half, so hopefully he's okay after what looked like a nasty off-the-ball tweak of his knee.
There's Connor Evans. The State Spine and Sport adjustment of the match comes straight out of the halftime interval. He is an awfully good one to be able to pull out of the reserve.
See how much of a difference he can make coming in at halftime.
Ross, you get a pretty good canvas from your perch of the league for you, all league with a bullet for Connor Evans at this point, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially as a rookie coming in, what an impact he's made. We weren't sure if he was going to play fullback at first. Then he sort of played left out in the wings and then came in centrally, and it's just been a talisman of this midfield. So you don't take anything away from Chapo Herrera as well, and Evan Lee, the likes of those guys that have been around him, allowing him to do the things that he can do.
I mean, good
the
reason.
set piece, we'll see here, the set piece delivery has been massive as well.
We talked about him looking like a fullback early on, and as I was saying, for good reason, because that's all he had played in college.
Yeah, he thought he was
Stanford and Portland, yep.
Thought he was going to be the right back. He turned into a lot more than that.
He's been the one who's made things happen as he tries to again. Greenville have scored a joint league high 4 indirect set piece goals. Garcia's cut out. Corvino. It was actually Benton who popped up at the pivotal moment. Could not test the target, though. It was always going to be a difficult finish for him.
A decent strike for a man that certainly hasn't played much competitive soccer here in the last few weeks. Almost looked like it got a touch off Jaune. No complaints, though, from DJ Benton.
That was going to be a long run for Garcia to do anything with that at the top of the box. Pretty fortunate to go unpunished. Here's Jaune. Texoma showing their teeth in the attack. Lemon Jaune swerves by Benton. And a loose pass is stowed away by Ozzy Ramos. JP Jordan. All the way back into Javier Garcia. Approached by Papa Mensah. Possession won by Greenville. Able to make it stick though. Ajmer Spangler with room to run. Rolls one across the toes of Brandon McManus. Some good attacking moments here from Texoma in the opening frames.
It's the first sort of through ball we've seen from any team tonight. As you mentioned, Texoma don't really play with the true 9.
Robles.
Play with anybody on that back shoulder, look for that through ball forward. McManus was there then. Pass was just a couple of feet off target.
Evans is clattered into. It's Ozzy Ramos who's the offender. JP Jordan and Jordan Chavez, the ones who took bookings in the first half. For Texoma, for Greenville triumph, it's only Corvino who's currently sitting on one. There's Adrian Forbes. He's never dropped his head despite some of the recent struggles for this team. Ramos might require some attention here. A match that has offered the lump and the knock.
Went down after that challenge on Evans. Clutching that right ankle.
With Calfo already unavailable today by way of red card suspension, Texoma don't have a lot of options. Reinforcement. They are using the fewest substitutions per game in the USL League One, just under 3.5 per contest. They may be forced into an alteration here, though. And what's maybe most crucial about that, beyond just Ozzy Ramos being an important fixture in this team, in the provisions department and playing those balls out of the back, because there aren't many natural center back options here, it might force a change in shape for Texoma.
They're obviously quite comfortable going to the 3 centre back / 5 at the back wing back system. They needed to. More of a traditional forward tonight so far. Looks like Ramos may be okay to continue. Giving a nod.
Won't be the first to require a little bit of extra icing at the touchline tonight. That's what they're trying to get on the same page about.
Texting that we just mentioned him on the broadcast.
Sure.
Also, what I was saying, all Greenville fans are at the game.
So do you think they call him Rick Wright, or do you think they call him Riz Wright? That is the question at hand. A drag back, and that's certain to be at least a conversation, and yeah, that's a yellow card. Will Perkins.
Rodrigo Robles doing what he does best, getting that ball forward quickly, whether it's centrally or wide. You never know where he's going to pop up, but you know he's going to try and get going forward downhill.
I imagine the referee will have a much shorter leash. We can dispense those yellow cards as we go. And it's Connor Evans. This is a finely tuned instrument that will provide this free kick. Set it at length this year, but already has blown by the record for dead ball chance creation in Greenville history. Papa Mensah never gets a look in. Chased down by Pascal Corvino. A direct approach into the area. Garcia more than up for it. Robles was the one in the vicinity. Texoma have struggled to press their advantage. That early gifted goal. Greenville, every passing moment feels like they're drawing closer and closer. Connor Evans conducting the orchestra. Oh, that's a crafty ball. He needed about an extra yard to find the feet of Devin Benton.
Yeah, much more of a crisp start to this half. The team's not getting around pretty well, finding some open space, still missing that creativity in the middle.
So in your mind, is there anything Texoma might be able to do here to disrupt this building rhythm from Greenville before it meets a crescendo?
Obviously not give Connor Evans time on the ball. He had a little too much time there, but showed a lovely little shoulder shimmy from him. He's always able to find space, it seems. He's going to where everything Greenville good is going to have to go through, you'd have to think.
Fans, don't miss the action. Secure tickets today at TriumphTix.com. There'll be plenty of important home matches coming down the stretch. Greenville hoping to maybe secure a home playoff game. Results keep rolling in the way they have in recent weeks. That's certainly in the cards for them potentially. Have to dig themselves out here though. Skyward towards Robles. JP Jordan at full stride in the back pedal. Nods it off course.
5 home matches remaining for Greenville. Portland on the 3rd. Tormenta on Saturday the 13th. Madison on Saturday the 20th. And close with Omaha and Tormenta in August. So 2 home games against Tormenta.
Not on the same page there. Robles and Connor Evans, the 2 substitutes. I think the important thing there, though, as you look at the closing schedule, though, although you've got tough away dates at Spokane and Chattanooga and one Knoxville, a lot of the home games are against teams that are currently below the playoff line. Of course, that will be a bigger grouping of teams than in years past because of the added number of squads to USL League One. Last year, only 4 teams missing the cut. This year, it will be 6. Pollock. Papa Mensah left the chicken wing out. Albeit though, it looks like the free kick was called earlier. There will of course be a whole raft of teams that will join up in the league in the next year or 2. Just saw the club in Eugene announce their final branding, and it's going to be Sporting Cascades. Pretty sharp number in my opinion. You didn't seem as amused by it at half. Felt like it might have taken some inspiration from one of the clubs on exhibit today.
Listen, I've seen some discussion about logos over the years, and you know, I'm okay using other ones as sort of influence, but it's a little similar to a couple of others. But listen, we've seen teams change logos recently when needed, but I don't think this one's fine. I'm okay with it.
I'm glad it
That's
has
as far
the
as I'm going to go.
Seal of approval. I will add my advertisement as well. I think it's quite good. This is this man, Connor Evans. Ball plucked away for a throw. Of course, Fort Lauderdale set to join up in the USL League One on the men's side. The women's team in full swing today. USL Super League.
That's right.
Setting off on their second campaign on this weekend. Ball into the box, off row Papa Mensah. Strung along by Connor Evans before being summarily dealt with by Texoma. Kazimir Spangler providing pursuits. And instead provides a big shove in the back to Tyler Pollock.
Not sure what Spengler's got to complain about there. That's one of the ones you just turn around and run the other way. Don't throw your hands up. Really blatant shove on the other young man, Talibot.
Searching ball from Connor Evans doesn't ask much of a point in question of this Texoma defense. Spengler in many instances has kind of been the lone ranger of the attack today. We spotlighted Luke McCormick heading into this match in the great form he was in. Not really done much. Neither has Brendan McManus.
Yeah, Texoma have struggled to get things going. XG of only 0.19. He took advantage of the one mistake they needed to so far, though. The ones that have the advantage at the moment here with just over a half hour remaining, but Connor Evans getting more and more involved as this half goes on here.
Robles, just a wild fling. Zane Bolt was begging for somebody to take the ball from him there. We did release it. It's not in an area in which Robles could make much use of the pass. At the hour mark, Greenville just made some promising returns in the control department. Yet to really muster a chance in this half. Mensa tipping the spear. He does win a corner kick, pretty witty from him. See if Greenville might be able to dial in the range as the rightful taker for them, Connor Evans, will assume custody. An hour has drained from the hourglass. Greenville triumph, need a goal. Texoma are winless in their last 8 in the league as they cling to the ledge. White knuckles, 1 goal to the good. With outswing from Connor Evans. A diving effort at it. Brendan Fricke has carried it tall.
Very acrobatic from Brendan Fricke. Just couldn't get his head on the right side of the ball.
Goal kick here. Can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and Sirius XM app. Plenty of Premier League action in store tomorrow. Attention, keenly focused on this man right now, though. Ropapa Mensah by himself. Ropapa Mensah at the end line. He may have just stolen himself another set piece. It will be a corner. Required the attention of Jordan Chavez, the captain.
Yeah, good work from Mensah there. Robles was streaking into the box, but he just overran things. Should have been looking for the cutback once Mensah got to the byline.
Greenville need more than nearly. Connor Evans tickles the Ivories. It's a punch away. Benton arriving on the scene. Word is Javier Garcia, though, was interfered with.
Slow whistle from referee Stradnak. It looked like Garcia just tried to come over the top of Mensah. I don't think Mensah knew anything about it.
Congratulations, Candace, and thank you for taking the
Texoma are certainly comfortable soaking up the pressure as they will be asked to do the rest of the way. Games this year in which they've had fewer than 350 passes. They've been able to put together 6 wins, 6 draws, only 2 losses. Yet to win one where they've surpassed that total. Only 1 draw from those 7 games as well.
40% possession tonight. 84 passes, so trending in their direction. All teams in this league don't like to have the ball. Much rather play the counter style.
It's often echoed by the veteran coaches of this league that you win games in USL League One off set pieces and transitions. Greenville triumphs, sauntering into the attack, trying to take advantage of one of those transitional moments. Connor Evans to make make a mountain out of a molehill and win the penalty, but the referee was alive to any mischievous acts from him, as is Jordan Chavez as he runs to the other end.
I think we all knew what Conor Evans was trying to do there. He was just running out of real estate, and his last resort was to go down and try and buy a PK, but the referee wasn't doing it.
Flown to the opposite end. Ricky. Corvino. Another side able to settle it. It's out for a throw. Corvino. Striking one into Robles. Off of pinballing action, Ropapa Mensah will harass it all the way back to the goalkeeper Garcia. He's looked up and located Laminjane. It's a thudding touch from Chavez, who not taking any chances in sweeping it out to the wide side and first a foul. Looks like Chavez is down. Team's leader in terms of touches and minutes and passes and pretty much everything else.
Yeah, he's pointing to the result of the challenge on his leg. Look at it here. Oof. Yeah. That wasn't pretty. Thankfully, Chavez back on his feet.
There was just no chance to even come close to playing the ball there.
No, I'm surprised the card wasn't brandished.
Michael Gonzalez is being put through the final checklist in the technical area. We've not seen him in 8 games as he's dealt with injury throughout the course of the year. Last appearing against Westchester, where he played quite well. Here's Osmir Spangler. Slotted centrally, there is a touch of contact, but Brendan Fricke certainly held his ground there and did so fairly. Hoisting it forward, Greenville triumph. Zeke Soto will not give up the fight easily. Required some cover from Texoma. The lines are cleared. Does remain in play. Triumph renew the threat. Mensah skewing into the box. He will settle. Papa Mensah works it well. Soto off the back heel of Robles. The shot is a skidding effort that was not helped, it doesn't appear. Defensive deflection, despite the thoughts of DJ Benton. There will be a chance for the change. Day done for the teenager Zeke Soto. On comes Michael Gonzalez. Fresh legs, fresh ideas. The Monterey Bay man. In many ways, was the hotly tipped pickup in the offseason.
Yeah, the brief moments we've seen of him, it's looked bright. It's certainly a good time to find the back of the net for Michael Gonzalez. Have an assist against Avialta back in May. To find the back of the net in his limited opportunities.
He started on day one. Has not started since. Got injured against Westchester SC, and in that time other players kind of grew into the role that he vacated. Wright has talked a lot about how for Michael it was really the first muscular injury he's ever had, so it took him some time to almost trust his body again, and then picked up the second knock. He would be a big add if he can find his footing in this squad as a super sub down the stretch, as another foul has been given. Let that wash over you.
Substitution for Texoma.
Thoughts on the jean shorts? Pretty long.
They seem to be back in fashion. My son, who just started college this week, was wearing some. We took him up there. Oh, I didn't realize jorts were back in fashion, but the kids know a lot more about that sort of stuff than I do.
Well, it's athletic shorts for Davy Mason, who subs in and replaces Lemon Johnny. Much more burly profile at wingback. Not seen jorts on the soccer field since the U.S. men's national team that one time. Maybe the next retro kit for Greenville. In the here and now, though, and Triumph on the front foot. Gonzalez. Oh, that's a lovely skill. Ball comes fizzing across the bow row. Papa Mensah will watch it sail. But a spark.
That's what he's been brought on to do. Stop and go here. Roll over. Looking for Papa Mensah. Just too far over his head.
Pressure has yet to burst anything for Greenville Triumph. Complete control of the game. Texoma had accepted a relegated role as the antagonist.
Shots on target so far in this second half. That won't please Rick Wright. His team down 1-0. Pretty solid defensive effort from Texoma. That sort of 10 to 15 minute spell in the first half, they really haven't been particularly troubled.
Adrian Forbes will have to be happy with the fact that his team that absorbed a lot against AV Alta and ultimately coughed up a 3-0 lead has yet to really buckle or even allow a chance from Greenville Triumph in this half. Chapo Herrera gets a chance to put a foot on one. Flushing out to TJ Benton, who coordinates the approach. Bub and Chapo Herrera again. And Fricky. Ball into the area. It's a scouting effort. Garcia is going to misjudge the flight. Recover his wits in time enough to fall on it. At the 70th minute, another Texoma player is ailing.
It's dangerous for a second. I think Papa Mensah may have got away with a slight shove there on Reed Valentine. Knocked him into Garcia. No VAR, so they wouldn't have been able to go look at it if that had fallen to a Greenville player.
Strong and stiff header. Connor Evans trying to hawk it down. Robles striding into the spotlight. Rodrigo Robles, his cross. Mensah, high boot to it. Fair play, says the official. Benton. Robles attaching himself. Benton finds a pocket. A calming presence from Polak. And pulsed wide. Michael Gonzalez gets busy again. Cross coming. And it just scraped the hair follicles of Papa Mensah. Now Bob and Benton turns and burns, and it's turned over the bar. Garcia, another heart-stopping save from the goalkeeper of Texoma.
TJ Benton getting into the channel here, Zane Bob. Benton just shot, turned and shot that. I think that might have caught Garcia again a little unawares, but he was ready enough. Get that pour up there and knock it over the bar. Good work from DJ Benton. He's played well tonight in place of Toby Sims.
Garcia starting to become the main character on this evening for Texoma. It falls for the half volley for Robles. Rather than actually Pascal Corvino. Assembling another effort. Greenville Triumph. Connor Evans has it knocked away from his possession, and it's out for a throw. Texoma have only won one game this year in which they have not scored multiple goals. It was against Greenville Triumph earlier this season. It's looking more and more like that might be the chosen path for the roadside today.
Texoma have also conceded 8 goals in the last 15 minutes of the second half this season. Only Charlotte have conceded more in League One play. As we say in England, squeaky bum time for Texoma fans is
a technical term.
Just to give it up late goals. DJ Benton getting forward again. It's once more like it. Obviously used to seeing Toby Sims powering down that wing. Benton's been pinned back a little bit tonight by that front three of Texoma.
Verklempt, Coccyx in all. Greenville Triumph applying extra pressure. Zane Bubble, he may have touched that ball. Adrian Forbes certainly is of that opinion.
Starting to turn the screw here. Texoma starting to play deeper and deeper.
Pollock gets his own deflection. Mensah prying and prodding. Robles couldn't unleash it. Pollock was lurking there. Now it's St. Bob snaking away. Off the chest of Fricky. He's left a man in his wake. Gotta say, you probably don't want Zane Bob at the steering wheel in the final action. Any means necessary for Greenville Triumph, and on this occasion, not the necessary quality from DJ Benton as play stops. Tune in to Triumph's next home match at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, September 3rd. That's against Portland Hearts of Pine. Chance for a little bit of lick back against the team that trounced Greenville Triumph in the state of Maine earlier this year, and there is another player down for Texoma.
Just creeping in.
JP Jordan was just coming up to that full 90 boil after missing so much of the year. He was out for over a month. Did not factor in July. Now in August. Back amongst the chosen 11 for Adrian Forbes, and needing a little bit of attention after going the full 90 in the midweek against AV Alta. For Texoma, though, if they are to put together what would be a very impressive performance, especially after the start that they had where they looked totally off the pace, really struggling to get players into the camp, didn't get the full assembly until a couple months into the year. If they are to make the playoffs, case in point, these are the kind of results you have to have.
Yeah, it's going to try and hold on to this one. Certainly been the second best team for the majority of this game, but in front, and the one stat that matters, XG, they're not 1.14 for Greenville, only 0.19 for Texoma.
Does look like Adrian Forbes is barking out final instructions to somebody in the technical area.
Doing a ton of road games to finish this season off. Madison on Wednesday night, Omaha. Saturday, the States, they do get a bit of one weekend off there. Also trips to Westchester, Portland, Knoxville.
In the box for Opapa Mensah. We can't conjure an effort off what was always going to be a tough one to handle. Robles again, who's pressing the pressure points. And it is once more a corner kick for Connor Evans. Greenville were not great in this department last year. They've gotten better in 2025. Papa Mensah lying in wait in the box, but it never even comes close to him. And it might be the break on for Texoma. Chapa Herrera had seen more than enough. And Chapa Herrera, a box of tricks. Connor Evans, he's slashed down.
You can see that foul coming from half a mile away. McCormick frustrated with the dispossession from Herrera. He was chasing back, tried to get Herrera, and ended up just clipping Evans.
The referee has done a really good job of walking a tight rope. That's what I'm trying to say, tight rope, yeah. Of marshaling the game, allowing the physicality, but also not allowing tempers to really rise that high.
He's got in there quickly. That was one situation there where he saw what I was seeing. Toby Sims comes on for Pascal Corvina. It's an interesting substitution.
We'll see where that relocates Connor Evans to. Of course, DJ Benton isn't like Evans as a right back. just in the sense that he's not going to be naturally placed in the attack. It's a boomeranging ball that will fall in the area and be whacked at goal by Robles. Caught that sweetly, and it required the block from Texoma.
Yeah, lovely technical volley from Robles. Struck it beautifully, as you said, Peyton. Couldn't really tell from our angle whether it was going to go on target, but himself a corner. See if everything's going to do a little better this time than the last one.
Toby Sims has been awfully good at just finding himself in the right spot on the second phase of these corner kicks this year. He's at the back post. Fricky just narrowly sees it nudged away from him. Now Polak. There is a collision. There is a whistle as well.
That was silly for Michael Gonzalez. Where Toby Sims is going here, he's flipping over to the other side. Someone with a familiar last name coming into the fray.
I believe his brother's a pretty good player.
I've heard things. I remember 2019.
Of course, this is Diego Pepe, who steps into the fold and used as a substitute in the last 3 games. You can make it 4 in a row for him. He's only taken 2 shots since July 3rd, but that's not what will be asked of him in this final phase. Elsewhere in the league, it has grown to 2-0 for Chattanooga Red Wolves. Tormenta down a man at that point. It will be difficult to see a way back for them. Chattanooga sitting in the throne right now on the table. Richmond Kickers, 5 minutes left from the end of the line for them. Up 1-0. This is the time of the year where everybody will be checking the rearview mirrors and the shoulders as results roll in on any given match week. Michael Gonzalez, a chop, but can't cut himself free of one of the league's best, Jordan Chavez. And it falls out of the reach of Teddy Baker. Baker weaving and whittling and cleared away by Ozzy Ramos. Same bump. Spinning by DJ Benton. Texoma have done so much dirty work, a rare chance to extend into the attack. It's McCormick, advantage being played. McCormick sweeping one into the area for JP Jordan, taken off his toes by Brendan Fricky. And play subsides with a foul. What a tackle. There's a yellow card in the wake of all that calamity after the pause. Not quite sure who that got shown to or why.
St. Bob, the referee pointed back down the field for something earlier.
Texoma only made the 2 changes. Might have to make another here as a player is requiring some medical attention. Looks like that's the recently substituted Davey Mason. Not the man you would want to give the hook here, but if required, Texoma could. Now, unless it's a concussion substitution, despite the fact that they've only made 2 changes, they can only make 1 more window of substitution. So everything in that window will be the final alterations made by Adrian Forbes.
The referee has issued a caution to Greenville's number 42, Zane Bebb, in the 81st minute.
Sprayed in towards Ropapamensa. He's been waiting patiently to make an impact. A pirouette. And nowhere to go forward. Well retained by Chapa Herrera. Fingerprints in more than one good moment this year for Greenville provided by Chapa Herrera, but this speculative ball is going to roll out without much incident. And it will be a goal kick. Davey Mason right back in as he provides the shielding. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
Excuse me, Texoma is still holding strong at the back. Just 1 shot on target for Greenville in this second half, despite being down 1-0. That's going to frustrate Rick Wright. knows what his team has been doing, even without Leo Castro, as he mentioned, dealing with his toe injury.
Greenville have opted for the sledgehammer over the scalpel plenty of times this year. Just like to chuck it into the mix, and usually good things happen. But pinned in here, Luke McCormick sharpens the blade, and his shot is wrapped away by DJ Benton. He's put in his best performance in a Greenville shirt. You can say that with a full chest.
Yeah, he's been solid and steady back there. Perhaps hasn't got forward as much as Toby Sims normally does, but he had his job tonight. He's done it so far.
Greenville desperate to get out of jail. They fell behind in the 8th minute of play by way of an error committed by Brendan Fricke, their captain. Ajmer Spangler the one to pounce. It's the long throw, the catapult being charged in the form of Toby Sims. 83rd minute. Lobbed in. Fricke goes down. Ball goes away. Chance is gone.
Certainly a bit of contact on Brandon Fricke from behind. Always difficult for referee to give those ones.
And glanced off the chest, a reflective touch from Ropapa Mensah lands in the grasp of Javier Garcia. Valentine quickly hemmed in. Texoma, alarm bells ringing. Fricke swoops in to take it back up for Greenville triumph. Blaze back to goal. Mensah finds it in a pocket of space. Mensah breezing a ball wide to Gonzalez. Michael Gonzalez! The effort was far from gashing. I think it's gone out for a throw.
This guy's foot on the wrong side of that one, but Gonzalez has certainly showed some moments of class here since coming on. Brings a little different look out wide for Greenville, who, as you mentioned, scored 2 late goals in their last 2 games to save draws. Can they make it 3 in a row?
Oh. There's JP Jordan, who stuck his nose firmly in the fan. That is his reputation. Connor Evans with the outstretched leg trying to play the ball. Couldn't have known that Jordan was going full extension behind him. Talismanic blast from Ajmer Spangler. The only distance between two sides on the night, who certainly are making a strong case for playoff contention.
Yeah, it's going to be the usual crazy race to the end. See Omaha starting to find a bit of form now, just 1 loss in 4.
At this point, I would say that you only really feel good about both Spokane and Chattanooga as certainties to make it. Well, Knoxville also in those regions as well.
Yeah, both teams will certainly be glad Richmond and Torment are on the losing end of things tonight. They would have inched closer to that playoff line as well.
Even Westchester, who are at the bottom of the barrel so far, have really in many moments been that smallest of margins away from, realistically, if they had even pocketed 65% of the points they've lost, they might be top of the table right now.
Giving away any real chance of making the playoffs. Still within shot, 8 points back at the moment. Just so many teams in front of them. Get points against each other, it's going to be tough work.
St. Bob nearly lost it in a really precarious place, but Fricke does sail it out of play for a throw. Texoma showing their best attacking moments. These very final encounters.
So they'll take their time here. Looking for a ball to come in from Greenville ball personnel, not doing their job here. If they had the lead, it'd be a different story.
McCormick able to make it stick. Getting purchased though is JP Jordan. Perkins around the corner. Jordan nails one towards the flag, and does the job well enough for Texoma, extracting every precious seconds. DJ Benton. Greenville have been one for the late show more than once this year. Oftentimes it's been this man that's been for the thrills and the spills. Rodrigo Robles with the throw. Fricky and Polak. Sailed into the box. Garcia just a touch late. It's fair play. It's flashed away, at least for now, by Texoma. Kept by Benton. Gonzalez creamed wide for Zane Bubb, whose cross comes across the floor. It falls back to Bubb. And Bubb again. A heavy touch to the end line, and Zane Bubb still keeps it in. It's rank and file chaos here in Greenville. It's come streaming back to Fricky, who just pumps it along into the center. How is the ball still in play? Robles on the right end. Took one to the back of the head, and it will be a cheaply given away free kick here.
Very, very dangerous spot. Chance for Connor Evans, who's a little hit or miss tonight with his set-piece deliveries to get one right. Hopefully tie this game.
Entering today, it was seed 7 and seed 8 that found themselves in each other's company. It has come down to the absolute final clash as Brian Padilla replaced the man who represents that one on the scoreboard, Ajmir Spengler, given the hook. No need for his particular skill set where this game is going.
Other than the goal, Ajmir Spengler's had a relatively quiet night. Does have a couple of shots. 31 touches. Second on the team. He passes in the final third with 9. He never really got another good look at goals he did on that one he scored. He's the difference tonight. See what Connor Evans can do here.
Into the final minute of regular time, awaiting the board to go up. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. The referee is not interested in anything other than a replaying of this free kick, and things starting to escalate from that moment. Robles gave a shove, and he has been one to lose his head at times this year. Steam coming from his ears.
DJ Benton probably doing his best job of the night to get Ricardo Robles out of trouble here. He's claiming there was some contact. The referee was right on top of it.
It will be 7 minutes of stoppage time as Rodrigo Robles pleads an ill-fated case. It seemed like the Texoma player was just trying to incite the contact, go down and see if they could get away without having to endure a free kick. There is a bruise to Rodrigo Robles' credit on his midriff, and he's going to get a yellow card for arguing that last line too far. I think much more costly than the caution is that he's allowed 30 seconds to come and go into stoppage time without Greenville being able to take this free kick that was given to them before the regular 90 minutes had come to its close. Connor Evans has had plenty of time to think about it. The referee is gonna, well, he said initially it needed to be backed up, and now he will draw the proper circle. The ball hadn't moved from where it was. Now it's moved a little bit to the left. Every inch counts. Will be a photo finish here in Greenville. Triumph the home side looking for uplift in the upstate. This free kick has been long awaited. It finally comes with swerve. Ducked away only as far as Chapo Herrera and back into Evans. On the left foot, carves in a cross. Sims is waiting on it. Headed back across frame, and it will be once more a corner. Like Kobe Sims was poised and ready to do what he's often done this year, and that is pop up in the area. We'll get another try at that exact effort here ahead of this corner kick. Greenville have been banging at the door so long, their knuckles are bloodied and bruised. They go again at the near post, flicked on, it fell kindly. It was only cast in the heavenly glow for a mere second. Pollock ropes it along. No, Sims is stuck a foot high. And allied to that fact, does not give him much pursuit to the ball. Does look like Teddy Baker was unaffected as he plays the ball off of Sims and out for a throw.
Credit to Teddy Baker there. He could certainly have gone down and made a meal of that, even if there wasn't a ton of contact, but especially with this game and the situation it's in.
I don't think he realized how close precisely Sims' foot was to his face. Hooked into the center, Ropapamensa's camping for it. Goalkeeper doesn't come. It's nervous from Texoma. Gonzalez. Michael Gonzalez. The skill show is not what's needed in that moment. Just not the night so far for Greenville Triumph, who have scarcely been shut out of games this year. Entered today having been unbeaten in 6, having scored in 11 consecutive. It's a Texoma team that have hardly ever won 1-0 in their young history. It may not be the case today if they can put anything on this ball that was searching for the box. Never comes to bear. And likely Teddy Baker, well, he could have taken it to the corner, instead tried to play the hero.
I'm not sure the thought process there. I think the Rankenberg gets it back into play. 3 minutes left for Greenville to try and save a point here.
Rankenberg, full tilt to the attacking ends. First time it feels like Greenville Triumph have really missed the influence of Leo Castro today.
And you mentioned they hadn't struggled to score goals particularly, but this will be the 3rd straight one with 1 goal or less in all competitions. Just look a little lost at times when they get into that final third. Castro does so much off the ball as well, draw defenders away from others, especially with his aerial abilities. Not that Ropapamensa is a small figure, but certainly no Leo Castro in that department.
On the other side of that coin, what a gutty and focused performance from Texoma. Not a lot of teams could hold their water after coughing up a 3-0 lead at home in the midst of a real drought of performance and come out and do what they've done today. Have they been the most lively participant in the game? Absolutely not, but this has been professional, at least to the point that it currently sits, 2 minutes from the end of the line.
Yeah, done the job that's asked of anybody on the road in USL League One, and 1-0 wins are the hardest to come by, especially in this league.
Especially against this team.
Let's get Texoma up to 7th as things stand 25 points. And Omaha just behind them. They're leading at the moment at the half. At home.
Smashed header from Zane Bob. Sprayed wide.
There's somebody telling him to take it to the corner. I think most of these guys would know to do that. McCormick failed that time.
Terrific tackle from Bob, who takes his team across midfield. Robles, rather than actually Michael Gonzalez at full stretch to tame. Connor Evans into the box. This is Rodrigo Robles. Greenville making inroads. Bob serving in. It's Sims! It's straight at Garcia. That was the chance.
Yeah, it was perfectly served in. Sims, I think perhaps trying to go back towards the near post here. So back to the far post, that's the near post that the cross came from, but Garcia was ready, just not enough power on it from Sims. Was going to take something special from there. That was the kind of chance that Leo Castro perhaps would put away.
Does lead the league in headed goals this year. Greenville will get one last crack. Jumper Herrera settling in style. They're going the wrong direction. Zane Bob. Pollock. Gotta go. orchestrating the move into the final third. Robles over his head. Past the 97th minute. Texoma maybe one clearance away. Chased down by Fricky. Fricky's cut down. That's a foul. That's a yellow card. Pushing and shoving. It's getting irritated. Pepe hadn't been booked previously. Fricky not taking kindly to it.
Excuse me. Pepe knew exactly what he was doing. It's a smart yellow card to take at this point. Referee may out in a little bit, but yeah, a bit of complete up there. Referee didn't think twice about it. They had the yellow card out rather than perhaps could have been another one with the height of that challenge.
So mind you, we didn't start stoppage time for about 30 seconds. We're past that 30 seconds. Garcia says you will not pass go. And that might just put the final touches on what would be a gutty win on the road in Greenville for Texoma. And maybe the final touch in this result to be provided here. Back to the goalkeeper, it's Pepe, it's saved. And no need to take it any further. A Texas-sized result for Texoma FC. It was hardly in full flight for the Birds, but Ajmir Spangler in the 8th minute with one shot on target until the very last moment. Texoma are good for all 3 points.
Yeah, massive smash and grab 3 points for the men from Texoma. Greenville looked a little tired. Texoma certainly didn't come in to play much soccer, but Greenville didn't have much of an answer either. Looked a little worse for wear after that game against India. We'll get some time off now to think about this one.
So Texoma take the season sweep over Greenville, triumph. Pair of 1-0s for them. As Greenville fall on their home patch for only the 3rd time in the league this year. Texoma carry the day. Adrian Forbes beaming smiles as we head to the post-game coverage on the other side of a break. Greenville fall to Texoma FC here today.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we are proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do, and our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
What exactly is a Sully steamer? Our sandwiches are made to order, which means once you've taken a look at our big menu and narrowed down your options, we go to work. Our sandwiches are stuffed with fresh, flavorful ingredients and then placed in our special steamer until the sandwich gets warm and soft and fuses all the flavors together to achieve the peak of tastiness. Are you hungry yet?
A result in the Palmetto State for Texoma FC. It's one that could echo come decision day as sides 7 and 8 in the USL League One table play to the final line, and Texoma, the one that have the edge when all is said and done. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport to break it all down. And Ross, as we take a look at the GSP Airport highlights, the only highlight of the game for the Birds came immediately into the contest. It's Brendan Fricky who gave it to them.
The only 2 shots on the night from Texoma. This was one of them, and it was certainly worth a goal, a game-winning goal, that is, from Ajmir Spengler off the far post. Gunther Ankerberg beaten by the pace of that man's strike. Unfortunately, Brandon Fricky, the giveaway.
This will be a catalog of opportunity unclaimed from Greenville Triumph. The best of the day maybe there. Javier Garcia, the double save. Then late on, Devin Benton forcing another one out of Garcia, the man of the match without pause.
Yeah, did what he needed to do. Didn't have a ton of action, but stepped up big time with those two huge saves, the one clawing out and the one tipping over here. Toby Sims with a late half chance, but never much chance to beat Garcia there with that header going backwards the whole time.
So barring a meeting in the playoffs, as you see the stats there, Garcia puts in 6 saves. He sees to it that he is not scored upon this season by Greenville Triumph. A pair of shutouts for him. Greenville dominate in all categories. But Texoma, the important one, they win it 1-0.
Yeah, just lacked the edge in the final third, Greenville. And Garcia with those 2 big saves. Certainly either could have ended up the back of the net and changed the result here. But as it is, Texoma with a monster 3 points on the road.
So we send it off into the good night. Texoma FC, the Birds, come into hostile confines and pocket all 3 points. Only their second road win as a club here in 2025. They do it on the East Coast. They do it in some style. And Greenville will go back to the drawing board, home next time up Wednesday, September 3rd against Portland Hearts of Pine. For our entire cast and crew here, for my partner Ross Davenport, folks, I've been Peyton Gallagher. USL League One season rolls on. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.